Hey, what's going on, YouTubers? How are ya? Hiking Dave and Eat Bigfoot here. I came to an area today. I'm going to hike some of the uh, Bay Circuit Trail. It's a 200-mile trek from up north, northern Massachusetts, and it goes around Boston, and it finishes somewhere around eastern Massachusetts by the coast. But I'm doing a little section hike of that today, a 6-mile hike, and I'm going to take you guys with me. But I want to show you something I've been working on, and this hike today is kind of part of that to try to tie this all together. So stick with me. We've got a long day ahead of us. So this is something that I've been working on for quite a while. These are some of the areas I like to go to, and I'm trying to gather some information, and I'm trying to figure out a possible travel corridor through southeastern Massachusetts up into central Mass, and then up into northwestern Mass, and then up into New Hampshire up here. That's my theory. I believe that there's multiple travel corridors that run through Massachusetts. So I've got some of these marked out. These are places I like to hike. There's a lot. This is Massasoit, tons of sign here. F. Gilbert up here, a lot of sign. I really believe that this is a pinch point, an area that converges a lot of travel, and then they spread out from here as Sasquatch travels. My theory only, guys, but this is something I've been working on and put a lot of work into this. So I'm here today at Boyden. I've been here before. There is sign. I'm sorry, I'm not at Boyden. I am at Borderland. I apologize. I'm at Borderland State Park. This place is really, really large, and the Bay Circuit Trail runs right through Borderland. So I've got a 6-mile or a 5.5-mile area here I want to hike. But these are areas, again, I was at Blue Hills, and I saw a sign at Blue Hills. Ames Knoll, right near Brockton area, there's a lot of stick bricks, a lot of sign here. Miles Standish, I found little sign. The place is huge. There's a lot of wooded area here. But I don't know if maybe I'm not sure why. I see a lot of sign right at the beginning of the state forest. And when I hike all through here, I see scattered sign, but sign nonetheless. Now, I kind of stop my research area, or my exploration area kind of stops before the bridge, before the Bourne Bridge, and where the Cape starts. Now, I'm going to leave that up to Max Powers. He has a new channel, and he's been researching or exploring the Cape area. I kind of stop right around that area and concentrate more on traveling northwest type area. So I'm at Borderland State Park today, and this is just this is another time. This is the Bay Circuit Trail. I've hiked it before, but today I'm going to continue on the Bay Circuit and keep going. Last time I circled and came back, and another really nice hike is here. But I want to focus more in this area up here. So that's what I'm going to do today, guys. But I have this up north near Big Brother Bob's. That's McCabe Forest. That's where I found those structures. 4 brand new teepee type. They're not shelters. They're just kind of leans that form a teepee looking type area. And so I'm trying to put together some kind of travel corridor, and all of these green areas here are all state forests and national parks and stuff like that. It's taken me a long time almost to get to the point I'm at now, about a year, and maybe a little more than a year and a half. So I'm starting to travel further from my comfort zone, which is Massasoit, which is just filthy with stuff. I've found footprints here, what I believe to be Sasquatch prints. I found that crazy 3-toed or 4-toed print in this area too. And I was really concentrating on this area for months and months and months. And now I'm starting to travel out and further away. And that's my plan. So I'm here today at Borderland State Park, and that's where you guys are going to come with me. And then I have a thing with maps, guys. Let me show you something. These are just a few maps that I've got. These are all the different state parks and forests that I go to, and I grab a map. Some are doubles. This was the Blue Hills Reservation. I like big maps. This is a really large map. I like it, easy to read. But anyways, let's go for a hike, guys. Okay, we're beginning our hike, and I just want to show you something right at the trailhead. This is that design that I keep finding. I keep seeing this over and over, almost. I don't want to say everywhere I go, but really common, very common. I'm seeing this little design, and I'm not even 6 feet onto the trail yet. It's something. To me, it's something. That's all I'm gonna say. I mean, absolutely, people could have, somebody could have placed it there like that, but it's really weird to see that somebody keeps going around making that one particular design. I don't know, that's suspect to me. That tells me something. I don't know what, but it's something that I keep finding. And now it just catches my eye every time I see that kind of design. I can't help but wonder about it, you know. I was listening to a couple people as they were going to their vehicles, coming out of here. They must have got here early, because it's early in the day right now. Well, not that early, but they were talking about how nasty the trails are, and muddy and icy, and well, we'll see, right? I see almost everywhere I go, almost sign right away. Every time I'm in an area that has sign in the area, Sasquatch sign. And please keep in mind that it's my opinion, that it's my theory that these are sign. I see it right off the start. And so to go to a place where I don't see anything right away, it kind of leads me to think, oh, this spot may not be conducive, you know what I mean, for a Sasquatch to travel. But I always find it promising when I see stuff right off the bat, right when I come into an area. The screen seems so dark. All right. It's really hard for me to just walk by these things and not show them to you guys. Very little subtle things. I can't walk 15 feet without seeing something, without looking off into the woods and seeing strange things. I just happened to look at this off the trail. It could be nothing. It could be really honest, just, branches falling. But it's my opinion that these are placed here. Who placed them here? I wasn't here to see it. But I can't help but wonder, Just really subtle things here and there that most people don't even give another thought to, At this rate, if I keep seeing sign like this, I'm never going to hike that 5 miles I'm hoping for today. 5.1, I think, was my target for today. A really big difference from my last video where I hiked I hiked an area that was basically void, completely void of any sign. This is just completely on the contrary here. There's so far, 100 feet down the trail. I couldn't get 100 feet without turning the camera on and showing you guys some of the stuff that's around very close to the parking lot, right at the trailhead. And that's a fresh break, fairly fresh, right there. That looks fairly fresh to me. Yeah, I'll never get out of here if I don't stop looking. I can't unsee this stuff, you know what I mean, guys? Once you start to see and learn the different sign in the area, that to me tells me that Sasquatch possibly could be using this as a travel corridor. Then once you see it, your eye just attaches right to it, and you can't unsee it, so to speak. Once you kind of train your eyes to see things, then that's it. It's the end of it. You can never really just go for a nature hike. There's some crazy bends out there. A couple of really tall tree breaks there. And of course, I will continue to say, possibly snow load. Snow load bothers me because if a tree, healthy tree, and it's thin, say sapling, it's just too small to have enough snow build up on the pine needles to snap off the top 2 feet or the top 4 feet of a sapling. Oh, what do we got there? We're going to have to go look at that. I was just going to shut the camera. What's going on there? Well, I think we need to go take a look at that. That could easily be a natural occurrence. Let's go have a look-see. Yeah, maybe it is, right? Could be natural. It could be placed. All right, I gotta make up a little time here. I keep getting slowed up here, and I don't want to make this video too long. I do think it's important to clarify sometimes that I'm not looking for Bigfoot. I know that I just explained it, but I think it's important to kind of underline that fact that I'm not going to find Sasquatch by looking behind trees, by whooping and knocking on trees. I don't do that. Sometimes I might let a whoop out or something, and very rarely a tree knock, but I don't generally do that. So I'm really just following sign. And if the opportunity presents itself and Sasquatch allows me to see, then that's what will happen. I just think, for me, it seems like a waste of time to sit there and, for me anyways, I'm not saying that it doesn't work. I want to make that clear, because some people do it and they get results from that. It's just not in my repertoire, so to speak. It's not in my bag of tricks. And not to say I'll never do it, and not to say, like I said, not like I haven't.
But, it's in my opinion that if I just keep my head down, look for sign and breaks, leans, because I truly believe that there's something to that'll lead us to get closer to understanding, not finding, but understanding travel habits, travel patterns. I think that's really, really key, is to understand. If we can understand their travel habits and patterns, that's huge. I think that'll tell us a lot seasonally, about seasonal travel and things like this that I believe to be important. That's of course, as always, my opinion.
It's a little interesting area. Get that tree break there. And I've got these two low ones, two facing in two different directions. This low one probably, 8-10 inches up off the ground, busted. I don't see snow load doing this, guys. Nothing, snow load's not breaking a tree down that low, my opinion. And then I've got this one here, totally opposite direction. I'm noticing even right when I started my channel and I got into kind of getting an inside look to the Bigfoot community, so to speak. A lot of infighting going on, and I can understand why. You've got people out there that are faking stuff. They're faking pictures, video, and I've done my own videos on this before and how that truly does quite a disservice to what these authentic pictures and videos that are actually out there in circulation for people to see. And I think that it's important, if I ever came out with a picture of what I believe to be a sasquatch, I want as many eyes on that as I possibly could get. And go ahead, break it apart. Tell me what you think, what's your theories. Do you think it is, isn't it? I think, though, the second that I fake a photograph or a video, I don't want anybody going near it to try to pick it apart. And I'm seeing that some people are being called out for some of their stuff, and whether they know it or not, when a channel like Bigfoot Tony or Thinker Thunker breaks down a video or a picture, for some reason I feel like I would welcome it, unless I was trying to pull a fast one, right? If I was trying to get over on people, I'd want people to just glance at it and say, oh geez, look at that, huh, Bigfoot. But I wouldn't want anybody to try to pick it apart, because then I could be exposed, right? But I hate seeing it. I hate to see the bickering between some channels that are out there. Maybe not even channels, just other people commenting and telling other people that, and accusing other people of faking or putting out content that they know is not real, when there is a possibility that people could snap a photo or take a short video and they may believe that it's Sasquatch. And I would welcome the scrutiny, so to speak, to have somebody like Bigfoot Tony to take a look at it. Tell me what I'm looking at. Is this, please enhance and stabilize and all those things that I can't do or don't have the technology, or nor do I want to. I don't want to take the time. And I just was seeing something the other day on NVTV, and I will say the name of that channel. I really was under the impression that they were unbiased, that they would just take videos or pictures submitted and then say, you take a look and decide for yourself. And I've gotten some comments from others that say, Dave, that stuff is crap, it's all junk. And that some people will just skip right by it, they won't even watch those videos.
And I find that so unfortunate because I was one of those people that liked some of I liked some of the content, but to be able to have others tell me, hey, that's all crap. My head spins. I'm like, well, what the heck? What am I supposed to believe? So I guess what it comes down to is that it seems to be that people are guilty until proven innocent instead of the other way around. And I think in the Sasquatch community, that is just going to be the way it is. I don't think that's going to change. And that word community, I think, is thrown around and misunderstood. I think, for example, I happen to really enjoy Carrie Arnold from Bigfoot Odyssey. I think what he's doing is trying to build an honest community. And I noticed that people kind of jumping on him for dismissing, say, cloaking or interdimensional or stuff like that. I really, truly think what he's trying to do is not dismiss that and saying that it's not real. He's trying to explain that from the outside looking in, if you're just getting into this subject, I mean, I'm new to this myself, and I can only explore and research what I can see. I'm not saying that there's no mind speak or ESP or something like that, and that there's no cloaking. My opinion on cloaking is just that they have an incredible, they're so advanced in hiding themselves, in that I think that they are just automatically so well camouflaged that it could have the appearance of cloaking. I don't know. That's Hiker Dave's opinion, and some people can call it hogwash and say, no, I've seen it, I know it, I've seen it, and I respect that. I do. I just have kind of a different take on it, is all, and I think going back to Kerry and Bigfoot Odyssey, I think really what he's trying to do is just kind of start with the meat, the meat and bones of it, instead of branching off right off the bat, people sending pictures and videos in of what they perceive to be a cloaking Sasquatch. Wow, this area right here is kind of, got quite a few breaks right here. Another one here. I see some off to my left here as well, some bends. There's another break right there, old. Could be snow load. And so, what I'm doing now, I think what I'm doing is kind of putting blinders on, and I'm just going to keep my nose down. It's a shame because there's a lot of videos that I won't even comment on now. I had somebody comment on my channel. I brought up Cascade Bigfoot. Love his channel, love his stuff. And this guy was telling me that he's a liar, that everything he does is a lie, and he's just trying to fool everybody. And I'm like, I don't even want that in my head. I don't want people, you think he's lying. I mean, well, then don't watch, I mean, I watch movies that aren't real, that I know that these things don't happen in real life. Or I don't know how I'm trying to put this into an analogy, but I still can enjoy it, and I had this person telling me that Mark is nothing but a liar, and he's faking and lying about everything. Well, from what I see, and I'm not going to, this is one of those occasions that I'm putting myself into this camp that I happen to believe Mark. And if I'm wrong, guys, then I'm wrong, right? Then so what? I'm wrong, but it doesn't take away. It doesn't take away from the big picture of things is what I'm trying to say. people spend so much time and energy and effort on calling other people out. You know, it's like take that energy and that time and effort, and you know what? Go out into the woods yourself. Get out there. You know, if you think everybody's lying and faking, then get out there and see with your own eyes. If nothing else, it's healthy, it's fun. You know, I have a blast doing this. And you know, I decide for myself. And then when I, you know, hear Mark from Cascade explaining something, I kind of take it, I don't see what he's gaining from lying about it. I mean, especially, you know, he put out that video that him and his buddy were thinking on killing one and trying to get it out of the woods. You know, that's pretty damn honest, you know, to put yourself out there like that. And if that's not a real story, then it's not. I mean, what is it gonna take for people to stop the madness, you know what I mean? Everybody just seems to be at each other's throat, and then it makes me nervous. It makes me nervous to even comment on a video or to give it a thumbs up. That's not right. You know, and it's like, I almost feel I'm being dishonest by not giving my opinion. But I don't want to be attacked, you know, because that's kind of what happens sometimes. This is brandy new. Nice fresh yellow color to it. All right, this is too long of a rant. I just notice it, guys. That's all. I notice it, and the infighting, and it really saddens me because it really is doing nothing but tear the community apart. And these people jump from this camp to that camp, and well, I'm with so and so, and I believe this, or I don't know. I'm really looking forward to taking on this Bay Circuit Trail. 200 miles. Holy jabroni. That is, you know, you figure if I can hike, you know, if I'm booking it, head down, nose to the trail, you know, I could probably do 12. Oh, that's fresh deer track. Hiker Dave knows his deer track. That looks fairly fresh. Maybe just missed him. This Bay Circuit Trail is pretty cool. Look it up, you guys. If you just wanted to get a look at, another break. If you want to just take a look at what the trail, what it's going to entail for me to hike that, it's going to take quite a while. I'm thinking if I can do 12 miles a day, you know, I try to do the math on that, and 200 miles, I break that down to, say I can do 10 a day. Why do I feel like I'm going to come right up on a deer here? If I can do 10 a day, you know, that's 70 miles in a week. Well, I would want to try to do better than that. You know, I'd want to try to do 70 miles, we'll say, in 5 days. So 10 days, you're looking at 140 miles. But, you know, that's not even stopping to smell the roses, so to speak. I kind of like to, I don't know if it's going to be impossible for me to just, you know, pump out 10 miles without looking at my surroundings and stopping all the time. So, you know, if I can do 70 miles in 5 days and 10 days, that's 140. So that's another, I'd have to do, hold on, I got to count on my fingers. So I would have 60 miles left after 10 days. So maybe 2 weeks, right? 2 weeks might get it done, taking my time. If I took my time, maybe even longer.
I don't know, it's a thought. I've got the time off. I might do it maybe right in the beginning of April, maybe a couple weeks from now. Just kind of look ahead at what the weather will be, and of course you gotta research the weather and make sure what you've got for gear. And I mean, you can't carry everything, food and water, for 2 weeks. So, you know, you have to account for stopping at a couple of towns along the way to re-up on gear and such. But just a thought. I mean, I'd rather do the Appalachian Trail, but that's a couple thousand miles. You're talking months and months of hiking. So I'd have to be independently wealthy for that, and I don't have that, the money or the time to do something like that. But anyways, at least like right now, I'm on this Bay Circuit Trail. You know, it's kind of like a bunny slope on a ski mountain, just a little at a time. So I'm just doing a little section hike today of it, and I'm doing some exploring along the way. I have not run into one single person out here yet today, and I know there's people out here. So there's something else I wanted to do with that map that I was showing you, where I circled the state parks and state forests that I believe are travel corridors for Sasquatch. But it's a little more involved, and I started to do it with Massasoit State Park. I started to map the park itself and map high traffic areas, or what I believe to be high traffic areas. That's a ton of work. I mean, just to do that for one park is a lot of work, but I would like to, to kind of magnify my findings, so to speak. And so to get a little bit more technical about it. But I think what I'm going to do in the meantime, right, I have a visual, in my mind, I can visually see each park and where I find most of the sign. And I don't have to, that doesn't change much at all. Very, very close to trails. Very close to parking lots. Really close to homes is where I see a lot of sign. I don't have to bushwhack to find these things at all. And I think that's really interesting, amazing. And I plan on moving soon. I'm going to move up north, up to New Hampshire, up into the mountains. Soon, as soon as the kids get out of school. They are not happy about it either, but I told both of my kids, if you want to stay behind, that means I can get a smaller place. But no, all kidding aside. So I'm going to spread out, and that's kind of was my thought about branching out from these parks and state forests that I've been hiking. I'm starting to move north and west of my area. For instance, this is pretty much north of where I have been exploring mostly, and I want to kind of head that way because that's where I'm going to move. I'm going to move up north, closer to Big Brother Bob. Thank you, Big Brother Bob, for letting me stay with you last week, by the way, if I didn't thank you already. But I think that it's really important stuff, and it's important for me, really. I don't expect anybody to watch my videos and have this big epiphany that, oh, geez, Hiker Dave's onto something we never thought of. That's not what I'm, because I watch other videos, and I take from other videos and other researchers, other explorers, and other channels and things that they find. And I use that information for myself, and that's why I'll watch any researcher or explorer out there that has an input on what's going on and their theories and stuff like that, and I use that to my advantage, and I take what information
I believe to be important, and then I utilize it in my studies or whatever you want to call it. I don't know. I mean, I've had time off from work, so I've been doing this like full time now the past couple of months. And so by me branching out and going north a little further, it's something that I think is going to help me at least understand a little bit better their travel. And I think if we can get a grasp on their travel habits and patterns, then I think that's going to help. Other than having a body on a slab, or me sitting down and interviewing a big old Sam Squamch, the only way that I'm going to learn more is to get out there and map their travel. And I think it seasonally changes, without a doubt. They do not, they're not traveling in this area right now. I would see tracks everywhere, and I don't. And I'm looking. It's not for lack of looking, for sure. I got to move along and get the heck out of here. So that was interesting. It's a good hike, a fun hike. I was hightailing it out of there because I forgot to turn ahead my wristwatch, and I just happened to glance at the phone, and I saw what time it was. So I'm like, oh boy. But I got out in plenty of time. I got a half an hour before the park closes. So interesting stuff out there. That place is loaded and lousy with tree breaks and a lot of log leans, old logs leaning against trees. But I do hope you guys enjoyed it. I got a comment just recently. Somebody had commented and said, Dave, you seem to be saying the same thing all the time. And he's right, I do. I kind of put it out there, and I do end up kind of saying the same thing over and over again about stick leans and sapling breaks and all this stuff. So I do apologize for that. I'm working on making my videos, kind of cutting back and making them a little shorter. I think that they're too long. I think that I lose interest. People just after 15 minutes, guys, I'm thinking a lot of people aren't watching more than that. I could be wrong. Leave a comment. If you consistently watch all of my video, then I'd like to know if there's people out there that stick around for the end of my videos. But I feel like I'm starting to make them longer and longer. When I first started my channel, they were 5 to 7 minutes. And people were saying, Dave, you can make them longer. It's okay. We'll watch. And I'm starting to think that maybe I've went over a little bit. I'm trying to find that happy medium from the 15 to 17 minute range. And unless there's something I got worth showing. And I think that happens a lot in my videos, that I plan on making shorter videos and not making them in a half an hour long. And there's stuff I want to show you guys. So and sometimes it happens, and that is what it is. So anyways, I really appreciate you guys coming by to check out the video. And you'll definitely be seeing me soon, because I'm going to hit the rest of this week and this weekend. I'm going out, I'm going to hit all these different state forests and state parks that I've never been to before. I came here today because I haven't been here in a long time, and I wanted to come here, and I'm branching out. I want to go further and further and stop staying in that comfortable little box that I've been in for, it seems like, for months and months, staying close to home and stuff. I want to get out and go further, and I want to update this map, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to start categorizing 1 to 10 the sign that I see in these forests. Like 10 being ridiculous, sign everywhere. I would call this place an 8. I mean, I couldn't keep turning the camera on and keep recording everything I was seeing. There just wasn't, I wouldn't be able to hike. I would have to keep stopping and recording and stuff. So I'm going to give this place an 8 out of 10. It's crazy, the sign here. It reminds me of, I'm trying to think of it. Regardless, it reminds me of a place that I go to, F. Gilbert State Park is crazy with sign like this. I wouldn't say not as much as here, but it's everywhere. I consider it to be a pinch point, that F. Gilbert,
where I think it's a pinch point area where they're forced to kind of come together and converge in that park, and then they can spread out and change their travel corridors, which I think that they do often. I think that they won't use that same particular narrow travel corridor over and over again. That they'll switch it up and use different corridors. But I'm getting there, guys. I'm getting there, and at some point I want to have a nice version on this map of where I believe definite travel corridors exist. Thank you for coming by, guys. I really do appreciate it. And you will definitely be seeing me on the next one.